everybody, and welcome to Lone Star Le Mans weekend at the Circuit of the Americas. And we have Ford Mustang Challenge brought to you by Ford, built Ford proud. In the Global Broadcast Centre, I'm John Hindhoff. Ford Performance driver Ben Barker is alongside me. He'll be giving us his expert insight into the racing that we are about to see. We're just south of the city of Austin, Texas, just beyond the boundary of Austin-Bergstrom Airport, actually, in a racetrack that's been here for a little over a decade now. It's a challenging 3.5 miles or thereabouts with 20 different corners, and there's a bit of everything here. Climbing the hill to turn 1, Big Red as they call it here, then my favourite spot, down from turn 1, dropping down through the hill, through the S's, and then popping out over the top at turn 9 after a seemingly endless serpentine left and right direction change, down to the hairpin at turn 11, which leads onto a 1 kilometre long straight with a little bit of a rise in the middle, and then you drop down to turn 12, 90-degree left into very tight section through 13 and 14, and then that long horseshoe through 15, 16, or 16, 17, 18 should I say, 19 the penultimate left-hander, and then through to turn 20 and 90-degree onto the start finish line. 45 minutes on the clock. Ben Barker, as I say, alongside me, looking forward to this. Very excited, as I am, because these are 3-pedal stick shift cars. Now, this is pure racing here, Ben.
It's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you know, to get a new series like this, a one-make series, and to have a manual gearbox, I think it's really exciting and really raw, and I'm looking forward to seeing this race and how these guys go.
This is a track that's really, as I said, it has got a little bit of everything. You've got to have a car setup that is pretty well balanced. Now, these cars are heavily based on the road cars. Something like 80% of the parts are still road car and have a standard Ford part number. So if you have a problem, you can go to your local Ford dealership and pick it up off the shelf from the parts department, which I think is a brilliant idea, by the way. But what do you need in a car here, do you think, to be fast?
Well, like you say earlier, you've got a bit of everything in this track. It's fast flowing. With these cars, you don't have a lot of aero capability, just with the way that they're built. Obviously, they're quite raw and production based. So through the fast flowing first sector, the car is going to be moving around quite a lot, you know. And I think also with these, you know, it produces quite a lot of power. You've got to really focus on good rotation for the hairpins and come out with a straight wheel to lay that power down and get the grip, you know. So I think that's going to be important, and it'll be interesting to see how the tyre life is on you know, over this race, with especially the rears.
You hit a very good point there, because you have to manage the tyres in these 45-minute races. ABS, but no traction control. You've got traction control actually to your backside of the seat and the sole of your right foot, and what you can feel through both of those. Here's the Ford Performance starting grid, with Trenton Estep for MDK starting on pole position. Robert Noaker on his on the front row with him. Tyler Maxson, the man who leads the championship, Tyler the Tiger, is on the inside of row 2 with Brendan Godovic on position 4 on the outside of row 2. Jeremy Fletcher and Reed Sweeney. Jeremy Fletcher coming off a very successful weekend at VIR in the other single make championship that he's running, with 2 wins for Mazda. This is a bit of a different proposition for him this weekend. Reed Sweeney's alongside him in P6. Max Sapolsky for Max Sapolsky Racing, moving over as well to the car being run by McCumbee McAleer Racing from this race onwards. The number 2 car in 7th from Sam Paley for Southern Paley Motorsports in 8th position. In 9th, Marcus Vento for JV Racing in the number 18 Mustang. And then the man who's best of the legends, the class, which the cars are identical, but the drivers have a little bit more experience of life, shall we say. McCumbee McAleer Racing's number 48 is on the outside of row 5, and the best of the DHL, the Dark Horse Legends class, where Slimp is on the inside of row 6 with DJ Randall for company. Then it's Mike Stillwagon, and for Skip Barber Performance Racing, or Big Skip Barber Racing, red, white, and black car, Alex Pachura in the number 33 for Spark Performance. Torre Racing's Paolo Salvatore on the inside of row 8 with Christian Bach. Frankie Muniz making his debut in the Dark Horse Mustang Challenge. He'll be in the booth with me tomorrow. He is racing for Spark Performance. Then Tom Tom Tate and Drew Norbar for Macumbi McAleer Racing, Stephen Vager and Dr. Rod Randall, Nick Smithers and John Strauss on the next row back, with Scott Thompson and then Kel Kearns, Jack Lewis and Mitch Marvosh making up the 27. It is 34 Celsius on the track, 51 on the air, sorry, 51 on the ground, so that's well into the 120s for the Michelin tyres to have to deal with. It's a side-by-side start, and we have a great sight as they come round. Over and under on how many wide we'll get going into turn one, Ben.
Yeah, there's all the opportunity to have the whole grid side by side.
No,
It's a wide corner.
Yeah, 27 across the track, and we go to green flag racing. It looks like a decent start, and we are heading up the hill towards turn number 1 as they come through. And nice jump off the line for Trenton Estep. He immediately pulls off to his right-hand side. He got that easy. Absolutely, you can't quite see the apex of turn 1 at the point that you turn in. It's just over the top of the brow, but there is the spinner we expected at the front of the field. The red, white and blue car's gone around. I think that was the GFE racing team of Marcus Vento. We're staying green at the moment down through the S's. Fabulous piece of the circuit, this.
Ah, amazing, amazing. You can really monster the curves, especially in these cars. So, yeah, they'll be taking liberties. You do have to watch out for track limits, though, particularly on the exits at this track. The apex curves used to be a lot higher, so you'd have to be very careful, but they've actually lowered them now, so you can exploit a little bit more.
So this is the first lap as they go across the rise, sort of signifying the first of the twisty bits, the serpentine run from turn 1 all the way to turn number 9, now diving down to the start of the back straight, turn 11. This is difficult as well. You come out of turn 11 and there's the spinner. Oh, that is the 46 car that was running in 4th. Brandon Godovich for Precision Performance in the red, white and black car has gone around, and I was just about to say it's difficult on the exit at turn 11 because actually the track falls away.
It does a bit, yeah, and like I said, you've really got to straighten the car up to get the traction down. If you've got any kind of steering angle, especially with this power and no TC, you can spin up, and then you're obviously under fire coming down into the next corner.
As we have the first two breaking away, Trenton Estep then. Keep an eye, he's leading, keep an eye on that yellow and black car. That's the championship leader at the moment, running in 4th position. Sitting ahead of him, it's been a good start for Reed Sweeney. Oh, little bump and run through turn 15. And Sweeney gets through. No, not quite.
Might get the car back.
Again, this horseshoe absolutely punishes the left front tyre. Always a difficult thing to know. Do you hold the inside? That's a great move by Tyler Maxson. Tyler Maxson. But it's not all done with now. Down the inside, a big throw down the inside in the final corner. And that was Sam Paley, I think, who was trying to come through there. And we've got 3 across the line. Maxson will pull away a little bit in 3rd position as he heads towards the uphill sector. It's 3 wide going into Big Red. Turn 1 down the inside. The 22 is Jeremy Fletcher, who did a back to front drive at VIR last weekend, and he's coming through the pack here in that white and blue Mustang, and that was a lovely manoeuvre there to get him up to 4th position. This is allowing Robert Noaker in 2nd and Trenton Estep to get away, but what a great move there on the uphill. Really have to use that hill to help you on the braking there.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. It can kind of draw you into braking too late, and then you can kind of cause an accident, but I think he controlled that really well and knew where he needed to brake and got the move done on two people there. That was good.
Maxson pulling away from that battle. He is round about 3 seconds away from the leaders, and that is a gap that he will want to chase down. Doesn't have to win this to retain the championship lead, but he wants to win as many races as he can. Tyler already with 3 races and 5 podia on the season. In fact, the only time he wasn't on the podium was at the first race at Mid-Ohio when he finished in 7th position, and he was disappointed with that, so he came back and took pole position and won in the second race of the season. Nothing like a motivated driver. Side-by-side action further back down the field, and again that's Jeremy Fletcher. He feels the need to go defensively there as Reid Sweeney in the black and gold car was having a look around the outside, and try that again into the slower right-hander at turn 13. I think I saw Zach Lee in the 48 coming through there as well, the McCumbee McAleer racing car, and that at the moment is the leader in the Dark Horse Legends class, and he's got a couple of cars between himself and Alex Pachura in the 33, which is the second place machine in that category. Zach Lee's pretty easy to spot. That's the chrome silver car in the midst of the group that's coming through at the moment. So we've only had 5 minutes racing, and I feel like we've had a whole season of action. The leaders are being closed in on by Tyler Maxson, who's just put the fastest lap of the race in at 22.3, pulls in the leaders by about half a second or a little bit more that time around. So clear air working for Tyler Maxson, Trenton Estep and Robert Nowick are now 3/4 of a second behind. Right, we've had the excitement and the huge adrenaline pump of the start. Now you've just got to, what, settle in and hit your marks and get into the groove?
Yeah, exactly. Resist temptation of overdriving. You know, we've got to look after these tyres. It's extremely hot out there, so I think that'll come into play later on in the race as to see, you know, who's looked after theirs the most. So let's see how that plays out.
Tyler Maxson was up into third at the start of the race, but backed out of it, I think, rather sensibly as they went through the first corner. It was Mike Stillwagon, actually, the Skip Barber racing car, I think, that got spun around the number 19. Yes, it was on the first corner, and he's been one of the leading lights in the Legends category, so he'll not be too happy with that, and dropping down to 9th in his class. Trenton Estep leading by 3/4 of a second, and it's now, is that enough to break the toe in one of these cars, do you reckon, Ben?
I think you'll still get a bit of a toe, to be honest, from that position, but he's starting to break away now, so I would say, you know, depending on his pace, he should be able to maintain that gap. But like I said, it's really down to tyre life. So if he pushes too hard at the beginning, he's going to fall back and potentially be under fire on the second half of the race.
Notice that Tyler Maxson is closing in on the second place car, Robert Nowick. The battles continue further down the field as well. Wesley Slimp, the 47, is in 12th position, and there's more bumping and boring going on behind him. That's Alex Bashura, who'd been in front. So Slimp coming forward in the multicoloured car, Alex Bashura in the sort of olive green car.
Ooh, big slide on the exit there.
And that's what you were talking about.
Yeah, throttle happy there.
Yeah. Too easy though, isn't it? Really, when you've got that much power and that much torque.
It's fun but slow.
That's Paolo Salvatore for Torre Racing, who's having the fun and laying down the Michelin rubber. He's getting his money's worth.
Yeah, exactly.
He's putting the rubber on the track. No doubt about it. And behind him was Tom Tate for MDK Motorsports in the number 8 car. But this is the joy, I think, of this type of racing, that you're always going to find someone, Ben, to be racing with.
Oh, totally. You know, all the machinery is the same. It's really pinpointed on the driver themselves. So, and it's nice to know that, you know, the person who's winning the race overall, you could potentially be that fast. You know, you have the equipment to be that fast and to win races. So, yeah, a lot of emphasis on the drivers for sure.
Great addition to the IMSA schedule. This is the inaugural season of the Mustang Challenge. We've already found out about the dates for next year, which will include, and Ben, I'm sure you know this,
drum roll,
a race, a non-championship race at the Le Mans 24 hours.
That will be epic.
And we're hearing something over 50 cars to go there.
Imagine the sound. And the drafting.
Oh, it is. It's going to be epic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be sensational sight. You know, I've raced a one-make series there before with a big grid and won. I did, yes. Thank you for adding that. And it is so exciting. A sprint race there. There's a limited tyre wear actually there, so it's really you just go.
So you just go for it. Right, that's very interesting.
So I think that's going to be a really exciting one. Very hard to break a toe there.
Yeah.
That's what I will say.
Very good there, yeah, good point.
It's going to be tight for sure.
We start next season. We're not wishing away this season by any stretch of the imagination. We've got another race here tomorrow. Then the finale will crown the champions at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A couple of races there on the Friday and the Saturday. No, Thursday and the Friday, excuse me, of the SRO weekend there, and we'll have that for you here live in sound and vision as well. And then we can look forward to 2025, where the season will start at Sebring. And again, I'm going to say now the thought of 30 odd, maybe 40 of these cars in season 2 rumbling over the bumps at Sebring. Well, the crowd in Green Park and down at Turn 10 are going to love that, and so are we. That will be the kickoff of the season. And if you are in the US and you want to get involved with this, Ford have just announced as well their tie-up with USAC for what is called the Mustang Cup, which is for drivers with perhaps a little less racing experience, maybe done some track days, and that will be the feeder series. The cars are exactly the same as this, so you'll be able to buy your Mustang Cup or Challenge car, go racing in the Mustang Cup, and then if you feel the need and you want to graduate up, you can take exactly the same machine into this championship. Starting to hot up with Reid Sweeney and Jeremy Fletcher having another good battle behind them.
Big slide into 6th there.
Another two cars, Sam Paley and Max Opalski. A lot of these drivers getting to know each other now in this first season. There was a certain amount of having to get to know each other. It's a strange thing, isn't it, when you start a new championship and a new season, Ben, sometimes you don't know some of the names around you, and you don't know the guys who are going to race you a little bit harder than others.
No, exactly. And you know, you're learning the livery against the name, which is one thing you pick up on as a driver massively. That develops through the year, obviously, you know. So I'm sure they're finding that out now.
More than halfway through the season, 33 minutes remaining, still only getting on. We're not even really down to the third distance, and Jeremy Fletcher with Reid Sweeney behind him, the blue and white number 22. That is the 4th place car for Macumbi Macaulay Racing. Jeremy Fletcher racing JFR on the side of that car. Reid Sweeney in sort of, that's very reminiscent to me to the old Hertz Ford Mustang. The old 500H. Oh, the stories of those cars being rented on a Thursday or a Friday morning, and carpets taken out, cage bolted in, raced over the weekend, and then the cage taken out and the car going back on the Monday to Hertz.
Love that. Love that kind of racing.
It's not a million miles away from that. They're still very much based on a street car, the Mustang Dark Horse. Is there a better way to get 500 horsepowers of grin? And available in right-hand drive in the UK as well. And they sound fabulous.
Oh, sounds so good, you know. And like you say, value for money is excellent. Manual stick shifts as well. I'm yet to drive one. I need to have a go.
Hello, Mr. Ward. Jay Ward,
exactly.
Are you listening? Little spin on the far side of the circuit, coming into 15, 16, 17. I think that was DJ Randall who might have gone round. Now, did he get some help? Alex Bashura getting spun around. It was the 84 car that was involved. So Bashura, and a problem. This is a shame. It's the Core Motorsport car that is going slowly at the moment. And that will be dropping to the back of the field for Rod Randall in the number 5 car. I thought I saw that car with a problem earlier on. That was damage to the right front, and still Jeremy Fletcher. And
these two are having a right scrap.
They're going to have the biggest smiles on their face, over the top of the brow at 9 into 10. That'll be absolutely flat through there, even in one of these. You're picking up pace coming down the hill. Pick your braking point to this, just on a little bit more than 90 degrees, but just as you get in the power on, the track dropping away there, so you've got to moderate the throttle, and then you're actually going through the dip and back uphill again.
He's pretty close here. I think he could be having a sniff.
Yeah, and it looked to me as though Jeremy Fletcher in the blue and white 22 defending 4th position over the top of the rise. This is downhill as well at the braking into turn number 12. Oh, that's brave. Round the outside at 12. Might just be track limits there, Ben, do you think?
Possibly.
Your practiced eye?
Yeah, possibly. I think you're right.
Full course yellow is out. We will see the safety car, and that is for the problem that we had earlier into the pit lane for the number 52, and the right front brake and disc looking the worst for wear for Christian Bach for Core Motorsports in that machine. Rod Randall had a problem as well in the other car. We saw that car standing still, or moving slowly, should I say, and the reason that we are under yellow, as I'm pretty sure that is the 84 of Paolo Salvatore, Vittoria Racing.
Stranded car there at 18.
No option but to have that car recovered. So, what have you been doing since the last time I watched you race in, that would have been Brazil, was it?
Brazil, yeah. No, I've been largely at home, to be honest.
Well, that's nice, though.
Yeah, it has been
this
quite
time
nice.
of the year.
Yeah, doing some building work on the house.
Oh, so not lying about in the garden drinking food.
Unfortunately, I haven't got a garden at the moment to be able to do that. I've got to build it first and make it nicer, then I think it would be a nicer place to relax. So, yeah, it's not a lot of driving, but we're back here, and it's going to get a bit busy for me as well coming up in the next few weeks. We've obviously got Japan coming up with Fuji.
Great track.
Which is in 2 weeks, so it's coming up quick, and it is a great track. It's awesome. And the week after, I'm going actually to IMSA, so I'm going to Indy to race in the GTD.
Right, in the 6 hours.
Yep, in the 6 hours. Yeah.
Right. Who are you jumping in with there?
With the 55, with Corey and
cool.
Yeah, so it's going to be exciting, and I'm looking forward to driving a little bit more. Oh yeah, that was a bit of a late move. He thought he was up the inside enough, and then he's kind of tried to back out of it, I think, and just tagged him on the rear left. And
what it looks like is it's broken the right-hand front steering arm on Paolo Salvatore's number 84 car. I think Alex Matura has continued. Yeah, he has. He's still running around in 18th position. So we still have 28 minutes to go. And it looks like the number 52 in the pit lane is day done. I'll try and get that car fixed for tomorrow. I did helpfully see that Ford had released a bulletin that included all of the local Ford dealers. So there may be some phone calls going,
I'm sure
going out.
Yeah.
Stay open a bit later tonight. It's 5 o'clock now, so maybe. Just maybe there's time to get your parts list in. If you are just joining us, welcome along. The voice you are hearing that would normally be Shay Adam in the Global Broadcast Centre, you will have noticed, dear listener and viewer, that it's not Shay Adam. Shay is taking a well-earned break at the moment. She'll be back with us for the final 2 rounds of this championship. Ben Barker has joined us while he's in his civvies at in the moment, looking very, very chilled out, and just with his Ford Performance T-shirt on, but getting ready to do some work tomorrow in the Lone Star Le Mans. What did the guys say about qualifying today for you guys?
Yeah, we struggled a bit actually with our car. In practice, we were looking pretty strong, and the balance was really, really nice. But we had a bit of a shift in track evolution, possibly some rubber down from the previous support series, and we just weren't quite there with balance. So Ryan, he couldn't get what he wanted out of it. He was about 7/10 off what he did in practice, so we're back to the drawing board and have a look through the data and get it ironed out, ready for tomorrow. But we're pretty confident. We've had some good practice sessions, so we'll draw from those and head into the race.
I'm sure everybody thinks that in a case of racing with effectively a manufacturer, you come into a championship and everything's fine. But it's an evolution. These are brand new cars in a series, in a world championship. for the first time, going to tracks for the first time. How much are you guys still learning as a team and as a group?
Loads. It never stops.
Really?
You know, every single session we go to, every single qualifier, every single race, we're learning something different. And it's about building a picture in the season to understand the, kind of things that happen more regularly and things to change and react to, tendencies, and that's kind of what we're going through now. And we're getting there with the car. It's got a lot of potential, and I think we really showed that at Le Mans. We had a very strong Le Mans on pace. You know, we qualified right up there. Unfortunately, we had a problem with our car, but we had the sister car finish third. So there's a lot of potential and excitement for the future for sure.
And where would you like to be by the end of the season when we go to that final round of the WEC in Bahrain? Where would you like
on the podium?
Yeah.
Back on the podium.
Yeah.
You know, we're really taking it race by race this season. You know, as far as the championship is concerned, I don't think we can look at a championship. We're really looking race by race and getting the most out of each race and learning for the future, so that we can come into it really strong next year and go for a title.
I find it very cool that I'm sitting in a World Championship weekend in a press room in the US talking to Ben Barker, who I've seen his career develop through other manufacturer single make series. If it's cool for me to be sitting here talking to you, how cool is it for you to be here? And was this always the dream?
What, in the commentary booth with you?
Yes, obviously.
Yeah.
No, I was to be racing in a world championship.
It's epic, and I think the championship since I started it, and this is my 9th year. Yes, I'm old. Has just developed and got bigger and bigger and bigger as a championship, and as a spectacle. So, and you see the cars develop as well. So, to be part of that journey from 9 years ago is amazing, and I'm still here, which is great, and I'm riding the wave and enjoying every moment of it.
You got Ben Keating joining the squad this weekend. Local lad, of course, from Texas. He's a bit of a character, isn't he? He's
a wily old fox, yeah. He is. He knows what he's doing. He's great, Ben. Lots of experience. He's got to
be one of the best bronze drivers in the world, hasn't he? I mean, got such a variety under his backside. LMP2, GT,
along with Ryan Hardwick as well.
Yeah, very good.
Course,
yeah, that's another one.
European champion last year.
Yeah.
But Ben has joined us, and you know what? He's brought some great experience with him, and we learn off these bronzes as well with a lot of experience. So it's fantastic to have that knowledge in, and he's doing a good job so far.
I could listen to Ben read the telephone directly in directory. He's just got one of those voices. Absolutely brilliant. Looks like we're going to be going back to green shortly. Cleanup has been done efficiently as ever, and we thank all of our volunteer marshals, the track services, medical, and the race officials for making sure that we can go racing and enjoy ourselves. So all of you, thank you very much indeed. Really efficient as ever here at COTA, whether it's the people helping us park our cars, the shuttle service getting us in to the middle of the paddock, absolutely outstanding, and that air conditioning in all of those buses is lovely, really, really lovely. It's been toasty, 35 in the air at the moment. That is in the Fahrenheit scale, a whopping 95 Fahrenheit, 126 Fahrenheit on the track, which is 52 Celsius. Those are the kind of numbers that make the tyre technicians wince just a little bit.
And me, yeah.
How hard is it? A serious question though. How hard is it to get your starting pressures right when you've got a minimum starting pressure, when you know you've got a track temperature of 52?
Really, really tricky. It's trial and error, really, in practice, to really know where you are. And you can get penalised for being too low. So we're looking to try and get as low as possible, to be honest with you. That's always the aim. So we're going to go green in a minute.
Here we go.
Everyone's bunched up.
So the field now with the Mustang Dark Horse safety car having pulled left-handed into the pits. Trenton Estep controls the field to the line. He gets a good jump away. That is an absolutely copybook restart as he heads back up the hill and into turn one. He can pick his line there. He does not have to compromise at all. Second is Robert Noaker, then Tyler Maxson in third, Jeremy Fletcher in fourth position. That's how they restarted and they hold that. I just want to have one quick look to see how close Jeremy Fletcher is. No, he's not quite there. Tyler Maxson with the matte black bonnet on the yellow, on the orange car, should I say. The green car is Max Opalski, opal green. That's how I always remember that one, opal green for Opalski. Coming through the S's now under the Goodyear walkover bridge. And it's a nice clean race start. Everybody playing pretty well here. Oh, like to see them taking all of the curb and a bit more through turn 8 and to the apex of turn 9. It's actually quite a bit of grip on that red tarmac through there, especially when it rubbers up over the weekend.
No, there is, for sure. You've got to be careful of the orange humps, though. You know, if you hit those directly with the tyres, it can really bounce the car a lot, and you're at risk of getting sideways and also going off on track limits as well. So,
yeah, I do remember in a race here some year. I think you were in that race, actually, when the Aston Martin...
99.
Yeah, Aston Martin of Darren Turner, he punched the strut top through the bonnet of the car by hitting. Do you remember the year they had the big sort of pyramids?
They were huge then. Yeah, they were huge, and everyone complained afterwards because they were just destroying uprights and suspension. Yeah. It was a nightmare. So I'm glad actually they've cut them down. Yeah, it's a good thing.
Max Opalski right on the tail there of Sam Paley, just letting Sam know he was there. That's the battle for 6th and 7th position through to this seemingly endless right-hander that puts so much pressure on the left front tyre. Used to be a big bump just coming out of the end of that, and you had to sort of pick which side you were going to. That seems to have been smoothed out a little bit.
Yeah, that's smoothed out now. That's not so bad, but it's one of those corners. It's such a fast-flowing corner. If you're actually a bit too wide on the exit of it, you're just going to understeer off the track. So it's better to keep it tight.
Opalski's got through there for the moment. The green car going up a position into 6th ahead of Sam Paley. Sam's coming back at him around the outside into turn 1 as they crest the rise, but the green car holds sway at the moment. And in behind them is Marcus Vento in the JV Racing number 18. But at the front, Trenton Estep still leading out. He has really not had a challenge from the drop of the green. And just a moment or two ago, going into the final corner. Now, is this going to be a little mistake by the number 5? Yes, it is. Oh, no, that...
Overcorrection.
I don't know much about this circuit, having only been raced here once, but Rod Randall, Dr. Rod Randall, that was not the prescribed line through the final corner.
No, he's just had a little moment in the mid-corner there, tried to get back on the power, got sideways and come off the power and overcorrected and gone off the track there. So a little mistake there. Cost him a place or two, I think.
As the stock car greats used to say, got a little behind on the steering. And at that point, sometimes you've just got to let the car come back to you. Stop trying to fight it. Easier said than done, because every fibre of your being saying, I can get this, I've got it, I don't got it.
No, exactly. And it is one of those balancing things where you can't overdrive these cars. If you overdrive, it's going to be hard work and you're going to be making a lot of mistakes. So it's better to just peg it back a bit and build up and keep traction, you know.
It's Ben Barker with me, John Hindhaugh, in the IMSA Global Broadcast Centre, which this weekend is at the Circuit of the Americas. Ben off racing tomorrow, so we're going to do a quick driver change for him. Frankie Muniz, who is in this race and
climbed up to the 12th.
Yeah, I was about to say he was knocking on the door of the top 10 at the restart, and he's going around in 12th at the minute, 11th in his class, first time behind the wheel of these cars. Normally drives the number 22 Ford truck.
First time at the track as well, as a lot
Is it really?
Yeah, as a lot of drivers as well. But yeah, certainly Frankie, he's got to learn the car and the track as well. So yeah, it's quite a lot to learn in such a short amount of time that you get, really.
I can't imagine that there's an awful lot other than the steering wheel and the gear stick and the pedals that are similar to his week in, week out drive in the truck series. But
mostly ovals as well, I think.
Yeah. So, you get it. I think there's 2 road courses. I used to like to watch the trucks at Sonoma, the old Sears Point. That was always great fun round there. Well, I've been very impressed with Trenton Estep, and he's paced this race rather nicely. He hasn't quite got it all his own way as he did before the restart. There's now a trio of cars that have pulled away. The MDK Motorsport of Trent and Estep is the yellow and black number 16 that leads from Robert Noaker, which is the light blue and white car, and then the orange and black of Tyler Maxon. They're having the scrap for the top 3 positions. Jeremy Fletcher leads the next group in the number 22. That's another blue and white car. And then it's Reid Sweeney in the black and gold car with the white stripes either side of the gold stripes. That makes sense. He's a Robert Noaker racing car. And Max Opalski in the green metallic number 2 is next up ahead of Sam Paley and Brandon Godovic. Marcus Vento and Zach Lee in the Silver Bullets is in 10th position and leading the Dark Horse Legends, with all of a sudden just coming up to the last third of the race to go. Just over 15 minutes to go. Nice to see the long green flag running here once we've got back to green.
This is going to be where you start to see the cars moving around a little bit more. Obviously, they had a little bit of respite there under the full course yellow to cool down slightly, but they'll be coming back up to temperature, and there's going to be moving around a lot. So this is probably going to be the most mentally challenging 15 minutes for all the drivers.
Jack Lewis in the pit lane with the galloping Mustang livery on his car. Also in the pit lane, Christian Bach in the number 52 Core Motorsports car has been assessed a post-race penalty. The 52 car, that is, yes, for that incident that we saw earlier on that took out Paolo Salvatore and caused the full course yellow. Now, why give him a penalty when he's in the pits? The question is, I'm sure, but the whole point of that is that you are basically saying you can't get away with that, and everybody else knows that as well. Now, problem at the side of the track. That looked like Mitch Marvosh in the Robert Noaker Racing number 29. And did he get a little hip and shoulder there as he was coming around the far side of the circuit?
Looked like he might have done. Couldn't quite see that.
Oh, no, it's Sam Paley. Excuse me. It's the 26 car that went wide. Now, was that Sam who's dropped to the back? He has dropped down. Yes, he's coming to the pits. So Sam Paley it was who got the side swipe. I think there might have been another car involved there. He was off course at turn 19, the second to last corner. Now Sam was racing well up in the top 10. That means that Frankie Muniz now is in 11th position, 1 position away from a top 10 overall, although he is 10th in class at the moment. He'd be delighted with that, I would have thought.
Yeah, he's made some ground, that's for sure. Where did he start again?
He started down in, I think it was 16th position, from memory. It's always good when you make up some positions. Tom Tate running down in 17th position in the MDK, the Mark Kawami racing team, and he is trying to follow Drew Nobuyer in the blue Macumbi Maculea racing machine. They've just had a little bit of a set 2 at the first corner. 2 very, very different machines. No, it's Kel Kearns actually in the Leaders Credit Union car, the 66. 2 very different approaches to the first corner. Is there much difference about how you take that first corner? If you have to defend up the inside, are you losing an awful lot there?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you want to open up the corner as much as possible. So even if you're overtaking, you want to try and stay as close to the car next to you as possible. Obviously that was quite wide, and all that means is the person who takes the shallow line is going to get the worst exit, because it's really kind of closed the corner, let's say. So it then gives the opportunity for the person to get the slingshot and get back past.
Full course yellow on the circuit. And this will be for the car that has stopped out on the far side. It is the number 29. I think we spoke about this before, Mitch Marvosh. It is Mitch Marvosh's car. Thought I saw a flash of that earlier. And that car will need to be recovered. Emergency services heading towards that already. So turn 9 is just coming out the Serpentine S's section and over the top of the rise. That's the bit where you get, if you've got that right, as you go over the top there, the car just gets slightly light, and you can get a little bit of a rumble as you go onto the rumble strip there, and then you flat out down the hill through 10, and you think to yourself, yes, I've got through that section again.
Yeah, it's a cool corner, but you need to really make sure you're rotated well at turn 9, because if you've got any steering lock over that curb on power, because it is almost flat, I'd say, even in these cars, turn 9 up the hill there, you're going to get sideways. It's going to move around a lot. So straighten it up, over the hill, down turn 10. It's awesome.
There was a track light just behind that corner when I raced here in 17, and pretty much every lap I came through there in the dark, I'd be checking my mirrors to make sure there's no GT3 cars coming up behind me, and I'd go over the top of the rise, and I'd get the flash of the track light behind me and go, oh, the GT3, no, it's just the light, it's just the light.
Interestingly, you can see that they've repaved here. When
on the exit at night.
On the exit, and there used to be a really big sort of bump there.
Because that was grass, wasn't it? There was a grass, and then there was subsidence
there, and I remember going out wide back in the RSR and really taking off there, and it used to be quite aggressive, so they've got rid of that, which is good.
And racing drivers being racing drivers, if it's paved, you're going to use it, aren't you?
Oh yeah, we try it.
Until you're told not to.
Always try it, yeah. Until the car says no, or the engineer says no.
Or race control
says no, actually,
yeah. It's like slapping a puppy on the nose. You go, no, third time normally.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, we're going to penalise it. Okay, I won't do it again.
Okay, I won't do it again. And then all of a sudden, you're inch perfect from that point onwards.
Exactly right. Just need to be told. Warned a few times.
It's about being given, literally being given limits, isn't it?
It is. We take liberties, drivers. We always will. And they need to come down hard on us.
Right.
That's the reality.
Okay, very good. That's Ben Barker being brutally honest about racing drive. He's just sitting next to me. He's just shrugged his shoulders there.
I can't say any more.
Can't say any more than that. We'll take liberties until we're told we have to stop. Just under 10 minutes to go. Here's how they stand. It's Trenton Estep from Robert Noacker, from Tyler Maxon. Then the blue and white number 22 of Jeremy Fletcher. Then we've got Reed Sweeney, Max Opalski, Brandon Godovish, and then the number 18 is Marcus Vento. Zach Lee, now inside the top 10, is leading the Dark Horse Legends, those are the cars with the blue number surrounds. DJ Randall in 10th position. Frankie Muniz on his debut in 11th. Net 10th in the Dark Horse category, having passed a few cars. And there'll be a few big names in the Dark Horse category. Sam Paley has had an accident. He's going to finish behind him. Christian Bach as well. Now, you might say, oh, yeah, but they've had... Look, it's about getting to the finish line. There's no asterisk there. And Frankie will be delighted. Can't wait to talk to him tomorrow. He'll be our guest co-commentator. Give him a night to just process what he's driven.
He was on my TV screens all the time when I was growing up. I almost accidentally called him Malcolm the other day when I met him.
Really?
That could have been quite embarrassing. Yeah.
Oh, hang on a second. Got a car moving slowly on the front stretch.
Or is he just offline?
Is he just off? It's Jeremy Fletcher, who pulled right out of line across to the pit wall there. I wonder if he was getting his pits to his pit crew to have a look. Maybe thinks there might be some damage on the left-hand side, but he's offline there, and you really don't want to be picking up any marbles, bits of rubber offline.
Yeah, maybe communicating something, like you say, to his team there. Doing a Kimi Räikkönen and not weaving.
Are you a weaver or are you a left foot breaker?
I'm a left foot breaker.
Yeah.
I'm not a weaver.
Right. In terms of heat and tyres, I'm not talking about slowing down for the corners.
Exactly. Braking, lots of braking, accelerate, I think is the best way. And it depends how long the safety car is. If you're at Le Mans and it's 20-minute safety car, I don't want to weave too much.
Here's our Ford Performance team update. MDK Motorsports, number 16, leading. Robert Noacker racing the number 13 car, their best car, in second. They've got Tyler Maxon in third and Reed Sweeney in fifth. And McCumbee McAleer racing the number 48 is Zach Lee, who leads the Legends class, with also Jeremy Fletcher in there as well for McCumbee McAleer Racing. Where's he? He's in fourth position. So the big teams that we like to follow on our Ford Performance team update all got cars towards the sharp end of their respective classes. And you'll recognise some of the team names from some of the other IMSA championships as well. 7 minutes to go. Ben Barker with me, John Hindorf. Oh, here's an interesting one. Oh, I haven't got the car number. Penalty, instant responsibility, TBD, the penalty. Right, okay, we'll wait for more news on that. That sounds quite severe. We'll work out what that one is in a moment from race control when we get the rest of that message. We're going to come down. It looks like we're going to have about 5.5, maybe 6 minutes to go if our dark horse safety car pulls off this time around and the lights are out. So now Trenton Estep has to do it again. At this stage of a race like this, Ben, with probably 4, maybe 5 laps left, would you be happy to be Trenton Estep, or would you rather be Robert Nowick or Tyler Maxon or Jeremy Fletcher in second, third or fourth?
Of course you want to be at the front. You know, that's paramount. I think it's all about keeping a calm head now for Trenton. He's got quite a lot of experience though, so I would imagine he would hold his head pretty controlled, but he's going to have his work cut out for sure with the 2 guys behind.
So Trenton Estep will bring us back to green flag racing, and he's just picking his time here. Can't go and stop, has to keep a regular pace, still weaving as he comes down to turn 20. What he'll try and do is jump while the following guys have got a bit of lock on. That's exactly what he does, and he pulls out maybe a car and a half, but that will increase. That's a lovely restart, that, Ben.
Yeah, another one. He did the same before, so he's got a few car lengths there, so he can go into the first corner with you know, more eyes looking forward than in the mirror.
And that means that he had his pick of lines at turn 1. He's under no pressure. Now he's just got to get it back into the race rhythm that he's had for the previous 40 minutes or thereabouts. Robert Nowick are a little bit closer to him as they go down through turn 3 and into those S's, bouncing across the curve. You should see the smile on Ben Barker's face. You want to go in one of these now, don't you?
I do want to go in one of these for sure. Yeah.
Form an orderly queue, I think, Ben. This has really caught people's attention and imagination in its inaugural season. Ford Mustang Challenge for 2024. 3 races left in the season after this, and the MDK car's gone around. I think that's Tom Tate. Yes, it is.
2 cars.
A second car in there as well, nosed into the wall. That's at turn 5, and I'm afraid to say that's Kel Kearns in the Leaders Credit Union car, the mid-blue machine. That will bring out the safety car again, and that might be all she wrote here.
I think so. With only 4 minutes left, and there's debris on track as well. It looks like they've come together.
There are several sayings in motor racing, one being to finish first you have to finish, which is absolutely true. All of these cliches become cliches because there's a huge element of truth in them. The other one is yellows breed yellows, and people get excited about the opportunity of being close to other cars and making up on the starts and restarts. And that looks like quite a bit of damage to the front of Kel Kearns' number 66 Leaders Credit Union car, and they were... Now, I wonder if there might have been 2 separate incidents. Kel might have touched the back of Tom Tate's car, which spun him around, but Tom was going backwards very, very early as he was coming to turn 5 there.
Yeah, it's a high-speed section of the track, and any kind of contact at a place like that is going to end up in spinning cars for sure. So we don't know for sure, but let's see.
How do you drive that in the GT3 car? Are you trying to get a nice flow through there? I kind of think you don't want to be going on and off the throttle, so are you balancing that with the left foot?
It's a momentum-based section of the track, so you want to keep that roll speed and your minimum corner speed up as much as possible. So yeah, there's not a lot of on and off brake and on and off throttle. You want to keep that roll speed through and keep that momentum all the way through turn 6 and to turn 7. So yeah, you for sure don't want to be stop-starting there.
What you don't want to be doing is instigating that movement of any more movement of the car than you've already got from the direction changes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want to try and keep that weight nice and central.
White flag by Preston, our starter, who's working solo this weekend for the 2 IMSA series. Hello to Tony, who is enjoying a well-earned break up in Alaska, believe it or not, our other IMSA starter. And
slightly different temperature, probably.
I would think so. Let's believe that this might be Preston's final race weekend as a starter. So is that what we were hearing yesterday? Try and get that confirmed. And hello to Preston's mum and everybody at the first school, the elementary school, who tend to have the feed switched on. Not sure if you'll be there on a Saturday. The final lap, the white flag is out, so it is the final lap. Trent Nesta taking the opportunity rather sensibly to get offline and make sure that he picks up as much of the marbles as possible for weight and ride height. And people again will wonder why you do that. You'll set the car up as close as you can to be on the minimum ride height and the weight. But of course, as we've seen recently in Formula 1, the calculations can be out just a little bit, because a driver's a bit, in Formula 1, the driver's a part of that calculation, not just the car.
Exactly. The margins are so small these days, particularly with Formula 1 cars that are so refined. Every millimetre counts, you know, so less so in a one-make series like this, but still, everything counts, you know.
So what do you reckon? That's your first opportunity, Ben, to have a look at one of these Ford Mustang Challenge races. The cars look and sound fantastic, and we've had some good racing there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for petitioning, getting all the factory drivers in and having a race in one. I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea, but well, the series looks fantastic, very close, and the cars are awesome, and I would love to have a go at one.
Hang on, Ford Performance Masters drivers race. There you go. Some years ago, coming to the end of the Audi TT Cup, Audi did that with all their current and ex-factory drivers.
It's a really silly, fun idea.
It was brilliant. Can you guess, out of all the Audi drivers, so we're talking the McNish era, the Christensens, Capellos, they were all there, and who do you reckon came out on top?
McNish?
Frank Stipler.
Stipler, of course.
He was magnificent, Stippy, and won the Nürburgring 24 this year
so
as well. Looks like we've got a result for you as our hard-working course team, and have a few tyres to straighten out as well. That incident between the 2 cars in the wall under review. In fact, we've got a couple of incidents under review. Anything that comes of that will be assessed post-race, of course. And unfortunately, we haven't got the chance to tell you exactly what happened, but it did look like the blue car of Kel Kearns went in a bit harder. I'm not sure that Tom Tate actually hit the wall. I think the gravel bed did its job. The good news is both drivers have got the window nets down. That is the accepted way of telling the crews that you're all right. Safety car will bring them round, and we can congratulate Trenton Estep for the victory. And I've got to say, Trenton deserves that, because whatever else was going on around him, Ben, he was not troubled from the green flag or on any of the restarts.
No, he kept his head really cool. That experience came into play, and yeah, he got hustled there. They were close on the back, you know, Robert and Tyler. So I think tomorrow's race is going to be extremely interesting.
Main point for Tyler Maxson is that he will continue to lead the championship with another, that's his 6th spot on the podium out of 7 races this weekend. Robert Noyager will be, I think, pretty happy with that. He has had a race victory this season. That is his 3rd second spot, and again, he's never been off the podium, so he will close in a little bit on Tyler Maxson, but I think Tyler will just hold on to the win. I'm trying to see who got the fastest lap of the race, actually. And in the, as far as the, Tyler got the fastest lap, so that's good news for him. And Zach Lee takes another victory to stretch his Legends, Dark Horse Legends championship lead for Macumbi McAleer Racing. He took the fastest lap in that as well. So the unofficial results then sees Frankie Muniz down in 12th position in his first outing. So Alex Bachira just nipped past him there in the closing stages before we went back to yellow. He'll be in the booth tomorrow with me, John Hindhaugh. Today we've had the vocal talents of Ben Barker. Ben?
Not sure about the vocal talent.
No, it's great, mate. I've enjoyed. Good luck for...
Thank you very much.
No, I'm not going to say good luck. I'll say race well. I don't want to curse you. So you can come back and slap me if I said anything else.
Exactly.
Hopefully the tactics come right and the car's got a bit of pace in it.
No, thanks a lot, and thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Really enjoyed it. Ben Barker, who's been joining us here on Ford Mustang Challenge for the 7th round of the season. The top 3 will head back round onto the start-finish line for the podium celebrations. Should have Zach Lee as well in the Silver Bullet 48, the chrome car. And as they come back, we'll remind you we're back pretty early tomorrow. It's the first track action. Another good reason why Ben won't be here, because he'll be having a little bit of a lie-in, getting ready for racing.
Yeah, I'd like to think that, but at the moment the jet lag has got the better of me this trip.
Just don't accept the premise of jet lag.
Yeah, exactly. It's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind. Never Brabham told me that once, and I've tried very hard to live by that. Well, I'm impressed with Trenton Estep. He took that by the scruff of the neck. He was on pole position, and from the drop of the green flag, he had enough of a lead going into the first corner for the first lap that he didn't have to defend, didn't feel the need to defend, had the pick of the racing lines into that. And really, other than I think probably the second restart when Robert Nowick got a little bit close to him at turn 5, Tyler Maxson I think will be ruining qualifying down the grid, because he did, once he got through to 4th and then into 3rd, he did close down the leaders in green flag racing. But another podium position for Tyler the Tiger Maxson for Robert Nowick Racing. So 2 R&R racing cars on the podium, but they've had to give best to MDK Motorsports, and Trenton Estep getting the just desserts and just congratulations. And Zach Lee has brought the car around in that brilliant chrome wrap with how they got that onto there without a crease or a crinkle in it. That is a piece of artwork.
I used to have a chrome livery car, and I think it's brilliant. I'm a big fan.
Silver Bullet, love it, absolutely love it. Ben Barker was alongside me, John Hindhaugh. It'll be Frankie Muniz who'll be able to tell us how he enjoyed this race, where he finished just outside the top 10, when we come back to do it all again tomorrow. But for now, let's congratulate Trenton Estep and MDK Motorsports for winning in the Dark Horse category, and Zachary Lee and Macumbi McAleer Racing in the Dark Horse Legends. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.